You can speak English with Thai accent. You can speak it slowly but clearly and with confidence.
If you are on Facebook, you might have seen her videos.
Main course คืออาหารที่เขาจะกินอีหลีในเมืองนั้นๆกินจริงจังค่ะ No that guy is too shy หมอนั่นมันขี้อายเกินไป
The song called Because I Love You from Shakin' Stevens.
I actually know that one too.
Okay.
Yeah, a beautiful song.
From that moment on, I fell in love with English. I really wish that I could sing along, but sadly, I know nothing.
Okay.
So I told myself, oh, one day, yeah, I will understand all the lyrics, all the words
Yeah.
in this song.
Yeah.
Mr. Thong Bai.
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Thong Bai, he was a very strict teacher. Samli, what does this word mean? And I remember that word very well. That word
Okay.
is. So when my students make mistakes in class, I say บ่เป็นหยัง It's okay. It's like the way to encourage them
Right.
to speak out ครูเป็นอย่างไรนักเรียนก็เป็นอย่างนั้น So every day I ask myself like what is my reflection today
Today I'm so glad that I get to talk to one of our most favorite people on earth, teachers. สวัสดีคุณเมตตาครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me as well
Yeah, I really meant that when I said that I really enjoy talking to teachers because actually I used to want to become a teacher when I was little.
Really?
Little. Yeah, it used to be my dream job when I was very, very little.
So different from me then I never
No?
wanted to be a teacher
Really?
at all
So is this by
No,
accident?
never It's like a coincidence
I see. Okay, let's talk more about that.
Okay.
But first of all, so if you are on Facebook, you might have seen her videos, and if you always look for English learning content, I'm sure that you have seen her before. So we've seen you on Facebook. You teach people English, and you have a very beautiful, soft voice and beautiful British accent too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and we really want to talk to you, and we want to know more about you. We want to know more about being a teacher these days. We want to know and learn more about how you became a content creator
Okay.
on social media as well. Yeah. So you're originally from Galasin, right?
I am originally from Galasin, from Thakanto district, Galasin province.
I see.
Yeah.
And the school that you're teaching at right now?
Right now, I'm based at Thakanto Wityakan School, and it's actually the same school I went
Really?
when I was younger. Yeah, when I was
Wow.
a kid, I went to Thakanto Wityakan School, like from grade 7 through grade 12.
12. Okay.
Yeah, to grade 12.
I see. And were you a good student when you were one?
I think, yeah, I was.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And were you especially good at English when you were little?
Not at all, because back then English wasn't my goal. Because I was good at science, biology, and chemistry.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So first of all, can you paint us the picture of your school? So what is your school like, and what is actually Galasin like? Because I've never been to Galasin before.
Okay.
Yeah. Tell us more about the
Thakanto
province.
Wityakan is located in Thakanto district, Galasin province. Is like it's not a very big school and not very small, so it's medium in size.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about there are about 800 students and 64 teachers altogether.
So, like you mentioned before, this was not your dream job to become a
No.
teacher at all.
Not at all.
What was your dream job then when you were a kid?
My dream job was to be a reporter.
Really? On
yeah,
TV?
a reporter, a news anchor, something like that,
Wow.
or a radio DJ, or a PR officer. Basically, any job that where I can use my voice to connect to people.
Okay. Well, no wonder you've got a great voice, great sweet voice. Yeah. So
Thank
so
you so
you
much.
want to use your voice to do your job,
Yeah.
like a radio DJ and stuff.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And how did you stumble into like teaching job then?
The job I wanted to be I was a reporter, but my mom and dad told me all of that. They said it wasn't a stable job.
Really?
It wasn't a stable job by that time. It wasn't
Oh,
a stable
okay.
job, and it's also dangerous. It's
Ah,
not for women.
I see. So like you have to go on location and report on the scene.
Yeah, something like that. And being a government, working for government is secure.
Right.
And being a teacher is the best choice for them, but not for me.
Okay.
But not for me. But I just wanted to make them proud, and I want to repeat them for what they did for me
I see.
all the time. So I put my dream job on hold
Okay.
and just to fulfill my parents' dream.
Yeah, go
instead.
for a more stable,
Yeah.
like secure job. Because
Yes.
of course, like being a teacher, it gave you job security.
Yeah.
And it's very well respected as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a dream job for parents. I
Yes,
think.
not for
Yeah,
me.
Yeah. But you ended up becoming one anyway, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How did you find out about your talent in English?
In English,
Yeah.
it's more like coincidence. As I said earlier,
Yeah.
one afternoon I grabbed my mom's radio and went out to graze the buffalo.
Okay.
Yeah, and I sat in the shade and turned the radio on, and I was amazed by the song called "Because I Love You." But by that time, I had no idea about the song. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Because I was about 10 years.
10 years old?
Yeah, 10 years old.
Okay, very young.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
young.
uh-huh.
And oh wow, I was like, oh wow, what a song it is. Wow.
Yeah.
It is so beautiful. I just like the way the singer pronounced the word. It's
I
very
see.
beautiful.
Right.
Smoothly, beautifully.
Yeah.
Yeah, and gently.
But at that time, usually you would listen to only Thai songs, right? But was that your first English song that you heard on radio, or you have heard
Yeah,
some,
that
you
one.
have listened
That
to?
one. From that moment on, I fell in love with English. I really wish that I could sing along, but sadly, I know nothing.
Yeah.
I knew nothing about it by that time.
Okay.
So I told myself, oh, one day, yeah, I will understand all the lyrics, all the words
Yeah.
in this song.
Yeah, actually, I started the same way because I listen to music on radio a lot, and I also watch some like soundtrack movie. Even though I understood nothing, but my mom would sit by my
Yeah, that's
side and
great.
narrate the whole story for me. So
Oh, you're
I can,
lucky.
yeah, I can still enjoy the movie even though I understand not like nothing. Yeah, but that kind of drove me to be better at English too. Yeah.
Great.
So I understand exactly what you mean and how you must have felt at the time that okay, one day I'm gonna sing that song too, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna understand like the whole the meaning of the lyrics, right? Yeah. Okay. It's such a good start. Yeah. Okay. So let's do one word or more. This is the section that we get to know more about you through your own word. So can you give me one thing you love about being a teacher? One thing or more.
One thing I love about being a teacher, it's we have long holiday.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because if you're on summer break, you have like
Yeah.
months, right?
We have long break. I'm kidding. but
But even though the students are on the break,
but
you still
by-
have to work, right?
Yeah. But those time give us to recharge and reset ourselves.
Okay.
And come back to the class 100% again.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because most career wouldn't have this. They wouldn't give you a long break, right? Yeah. Okay. I agree that that's a great thing about being a teacher too.
Yeah. And another reason is it's good to see our student grow. Yeah, and become and succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that must give you the best feeling in the world
Yeah.
to see someone grow or improve
Yeah.
from where they were, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Give us one thing you hate about being a teacher then.
The system.
The system.
Yeah, the
Okay.
system, the education system.
I see.
It's like teachers now are drowning in loads of paperwork.
Ah, yeah.
I'm not good to. I'm not good at paperwork at all. So
Yeah.
I just want to teach, design my lesson for my students, like that. But I understand. Understandable.
Yeah, yeah, but it could be improved or it could be better or
Yeah.
even changed, right?
Yet, because they always have lots of reports, forms to
Yeah.
complete.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. So,
Which
too
may
much
or may not
paperwork.
necessary. That is still debatable, right? Maybe we can just cut something out of our routine,
Yeah.
paperwork or non-necessary stuff in order to
Yeah.
focus more on the class.
Sometimes I think we spend more time on paperwork than
Preparing our
students.
lessons.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I can understand that. And I think you speak for a lot of teachers out there too, that not a lot of people enjoy paperwork, right?
Am I safe now?
Okay, now can you give us one Isan word or slang that you loved saying?
One Isan word or slang I always say to my student is "bo pen yang."
That's a good one.
You understand this word?
Yeah, sure.
"Bo pen yang." It means it's okay. You don't need to worry. Just try it again. So when my student make mistakes in class, I say "bo pen yang." It's okay. It's like the way to encourage them
Right.
to speak out. "Bo pen yang." You can try it again and again.
Yeah, because I've heard a lot of people who are not good at English, they always talk about this, right?
Yeah.
Like fear of making mistakes,
Yes.
especially in the classroom or in front of teachers because they might get scolded or they might like have their points taken away. So yeah, that's the real fear for like little kids.
Yeah.
So they have a very unhealthy feeling of the classrooms, and that's such a shame, I think.
Yeah.
So บ่เป็นหยัง
บ่เป็นหยัง
บ่เป็นหยัง Yeah, I love that. Okay, can you give me one English book or books that made you fall in love with English? Do you have books like that?
Sure. Let me see. The first textbook, yeah, from grade 5.
Oh, okay. So
Grade
it's not
five?
the outside reading, but it's the textbook.
Yeah, the textbook. The first
Oh.
one is called English is Fun.
Okay.
Yeah, it really was fun. Because I remember that we study about simple vocabulary like bat, rat, cat, bean, pin, pig, wig,
Yeah.
something like that. And we would chant before we finished school.
Okay.
We would chant loud, louder, and we laugh a lot because we would say bat, rat, cat, bean, pin, pig, wig.
And they rhyme, so that makes it fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a good way to pronounce.
Right.
Yeah, to learn pronunciation and the alphabet and like phonics.
I see.
But by the time we had no idea about phonics.
Right. That's good.
English is Fun. This is the first book that inspired me because it's very easy. But I didn't study much about it because by that time in my primary school we had no teacher who majored in English. No, so we just study the simple vocabulary.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all.
Right. But I think there's nothing wrong with easy because easy makes it all possible.
Yeah.
And easy gives us the feeling of like succeed. Like we can succeed this.
Yeah.
And it's a small victory. But if we can keep like doing it because it's easy, I think that will give us like a lot encouragement too.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I believe that people learn better from easy things.
Right. And I was about to say the title of the book could sound very gaslighting-y, like English is fun. Trust me, English is fun.
English
but
is
English
fun.
is actually fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And the second book it's called Food Fit for Five by Sangchai Sunthornwat. Have you
I
ever
know
heard
that.
about it?
I know that. And I'm a big fan of Kun Sang Chai
Me
too.
too.
Yeah.
I spent most of my time reading in the library when I was in college. Yeah, and I fell in love with this book a lot because it's different.
Yeah.
It's not a textbook at all, but it's about real English. Yeah, we can use it in our daily life. It's different.
True. Yeah. It doesn't seem like textbook at all because it reads almost like chit chatting
Yeah.
with the readers.
Yes.
And I actually came before you because I read Food Fit for Five as a column in the newspaper. And I clip
Really?
the column every day. Like before they compile into a one pocket book, there used to be there used to be like the
Oh, I
columns.
never knew that.
Yeah,
That
there
it was
used to
on the
used to be a
newspaper.
column in Thai Rat before. Yeah, and I read it every day. I clipped all the column and save it up, like make my small booklet.
Wow.
Yeah, of Food Fit for Five. Yeah, and I was so glad when it came out as a book.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that book
yeah,
very
I had
much.
like all of them, like over 10 volumes, I think. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, and yeah, I can see why you fell in love
And
with English.
The last one is American Lingo. Have
Oh,
you heard
okay.
this about this book before?
I'm not quite sure. No.
American Lingo is about American slang and idiom, daily expression
Yeah.
that real people use.
A lot of fun stuff in the idiom world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we always get headaches from studying or reciting textbook. It's very not fun. So if we get to see something outside of this context, like outside of classroom, and it's more like this is the kind of language that you will hear in the song.
Yeah,
Or this is the kind of language
sure.
you'll hear or you see in the movie.
In movie.
That's a lot more interesting.
Yeah, more interesting. I really love reading. When I was young, okay, I was like 10 years old, in grade 4. Yeah, I had a chance to join the prose reading competition. And I won all the levels from the district level
Wow.
to provincial level.
Wow, you're the champion.
Yeah, and I had a chance to represent my province to join the reading competition in Ubon Ratchathani.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you win?
Long time ago,
Okay.
but I finished fourth place.
Wow.
Fourth place.
yeah.
Yeah, and that makes me proud of myself.
Yeah, you should be proud of yourself.
Yeah, that's
Right.
why I love reading, and I want to use my voice because it's a prose reading. You have to read out loud, right? And then you have a question.
Yeah.
You got a question, then you have to answer those questions. So when I got fourth place, and then oh wow, I was just a little girl from a very unknown school, but I can beat with other students from famous school.
Yeah. I think competitions are great because no matter like if you win it's great. If you lose you can still learn something and you learn a lot about yourself too. Yeah. So well if you want to actually use the language, just go compete in something. I think it's a great idea. Yeah. Okay. Can you give us one secret habit that helps improve and maintain your English skills all these years?
One secret habit, I talk to myself a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
You do that too? Because
Up
I do
until
that.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always talk to myself because back then I didn't have anyone to talk to. People don't really like English. People didn't really like English. So instead of looking for a partner to practice, I choose to talk to myself.
Okay. How
Yeah.
do you do it? What do you talk to yourself about?
When I'm doing something, I ask myself, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, I'm cooking. I'm reading books. am I enjoying like that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just have a conversation with yourself.
Yes.
Check it in with yourself
Yeah.
and narrate the thing that you do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also follow some teachers on YouTube, like ETJ English,
Okay.
English with Elliot.
Okay.
And I used the technique called shadowing. Yeah, when you turn on the clip and then you pause and then you
Like
you
speak
copy.
after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You copy sound, speed, or even pauses, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So shadowing, that's a great technique that
Yeah.
costs you nothing. It's like you don't have to spend any money
No,
on
not
doing
at all.
that. Yeah, you can do it all the
Yeah,
time
it's a great
too.
way.
Yeah. Okay. So talking to yourself and shadowing, that's two proven way that will improve your English for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because I do that too, and I still do that. Yeah, and when it becomes your habit, you don't feel too weird about it anymore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also works. Yeah. Okay. Can you give us one teacher that you admire and look up to as an inspiration?
My English teacher when I was in grade 7
Okay.
ม.1 ใช่ไหมคะ grade 7 Mr. Thongbai
Oh.
Mr.
Okay.
Thongbai he was a very strict teacher
Okay.
yeah he always wear glasses and I was in English class that day and he called me Samli not because my complexion is white but it's because I was dark
Okay.
by that time. So it's like a cotton seed. Samli.
Yeah.
What does this word mean? What does this word mean? I remember that word very well. That word
Okay.
is paper. And I didn't know the meaning of that word paper when I was in grade 7. I just stood still and said nothing. And he had someone else answer
Okay.
that question.
And how did that make you feel?
I told myself again one day I would understand English. I would understand all the words
Yeah.
in English. I told myself like that. So Mr.
Yeah.
Thongbai is like my first English teacher who inspired me.
Right.
Yeah. And the second teacher when I was in college, my phonetics teacher, อาจารย์กรองแก้วชัยปะ I graduated from Rajapat เลย Yes, she taught phonetics. I love the way she pronounced the word and she makes all the sound that I thought by that time I could never make it right. But she taught us, she make it easier. The sound, the TH sound, like that, this, think, thought, something like that. That this sound always a problem for Thai student as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you can get better at pronunciation, your English would be very obviously
Yeah,
better.
that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
Right.
So
Okay.
I always look up. I wanted to be like her.
All right. Okay, so one teacher inspired you to know all the words, and the other inspired you to
About the pronunciation.
pronounce things right.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah, and you've got a very beautiful pronunciation and accent.
Thank you so
But
much.
speaking of your accent, how did you get the British accent? What was it British?
I don't think I have a British or American accent at
Okay.
all. I don't think so. But it's more like a mix. Yeah, because I still pronounce a tomato instead of tomato.
Okay.
I say schedule instead of schedule.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no like one way or the other, but it's kind of the mixture of
Yes.
both.
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you think you get this mixture from? Where from movies or from?
I didn't watch much movie.
Okay.
And up until now, I don't watch movie a lot. I just listen to the songs.
Ah, okay. So
And-
mostly you get it from the songs?
Yeah,
Okay.
from the songs and from like YouTube video.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you watch on YouTube? A lot of like English teachers, obviously, but do you also like watch and learn from a lot of like native speakers too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I kind of watch the British accent
Ah.
video,
That's why.
like EGT English. Yeah, like the RP, British RP.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So you know what you like.
Yes.
So you go after what you like.
Yeah.
And you kind of try to mimic them, and that's how you got
Yeah, I
your,
think
your
so.
accent.
Yeah.
Okay. So as a teacher, do you encourage your students to have a more native accent, or you would tell them it's okay, just have your own accent. You don't have to be like Americans or British.
Talking about accent,
Yeah.
I do encourage my student to speak English with a native like accent, but if they can't, it's okay. It's okay. It's fine because accent doesn't really important as long as you can convey the meaning.
Okay.
That's the point. That counts.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can speak English with Thai accent, but just speak it clearly. You can speak it slowly but clearly and with confidence.
Ah.
Yeah,
That's the most important thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're confident about your own way of speak, the language, it's okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Right.
It's really fine.
Yeah.
Fluency
Fluency.
before accuracy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's a good point because we worry too much about like whether or not we're proper with the grammar or
yeah.
we are saying or using the correct tenses or like grammar points.
Yeah.
So that would stop us from going with the flow
Yeah, that
and
whole-
actually enjoy the conversation.
That hold our student back. They will fear to speak.
Yeah. Like coming back to your point earlier that if you are not afraid to make mistakes, you can have more fun with the language, and that's how you learn, right? All right. I want to ask you more about the question that you get from your Facebook fan because you've got the Facebook and the social media, right? And so a lot of people might have asked you questions or like talk to you. So what kind of things that they asked you about the most?
Most of the comments are good so far.
Okay.
Yeah, I have had just very rare comments that are negative, that seems negative. Like a woman once asked me, no, not a question. She wrote to me like, stop showing off your English. Everyone else can speak.
Really?
Look at you, ugly.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I read this comment and I checked, oh, it's not a feedback. It's not a feedback at all. But I didn't reply. But you know what? After a moment, a lot of people replied for me.
For you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
And she got attacked, I believe.
But I didn't want people to fight on my
Okay.
page, so
Yeah.
I
Bad vibe,
decided
right?
to hide that comment.
Oh, okay.
And the latest one, just very funny, very funny. He asked me like, "Are you not going back to your husband?
What?
Are you not going back to your husband? He might took a guess. He might take a guess that I got married to a foreign husband.
Okay.
Yeah, so he asked me like, "Are you not going back to your husband?"
What?
I just laugh at it and then
Right. But this is the kind of people that are sadly very common on the internet anyway. So we kind of have to learn how to like tune them out, right?
But
Just
I'm
ignore
lucky.
them.
I'm lucky and so grateful about my fans. They're so lovely. and supportive.
So, what about people who are here to learn with you? What kind of English related language or English related question that they ask you most often?
They just ask me like, teacher, why you put a subtitle like that? I can't catch you. Could you please speak a bit more slower?
Slowly?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah. Something like that.
I see.
Not a question,
So,
but
mostly the request.
yeah,
of-
the request.
Okay.
Yeah, to speak a bit more slowly and could you please put a subtitle in Thai
Right. So they can
like
learn
that?
and
Yeah, they
understand
can
better.
learn. But
Okay.
I just told them that I didn't want you to focus on Thai language, but more to English. So you can get familiar to the sound I pronounced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. When did you start the YouTube or the Facebook?
I think
How long
maybe
has it been?
2 years ago.
2 years. Okay.
I think so.
Yeah. The first time that you decided that, okay, I wanna try this. What made you start?
I watched some videos on social media like TikTok. Can I say that?
Sure.
TikTok and YouTube and Facebook Reel. So I told to myself like, if other people can do, why can't I? So I started making a clip,
Yeah.
but it's very funny at first.
Right.
It's very easy and funny at first.
Yeah. I think that's a key.
But I
Is-
didn't expect I would have quite a lot of fans.
Yeah. So obviously a lot of people like what you were doing, right?
Yeah, because it's like it's easy, not too difficult, and it's like real English that we use in our daily life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
That's a big takeaway. It's easy to do. I mean, the video is easy to make, and you talk about easy stuff where people can actually follow,
Yeah.
and they can actually use this in the real life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are keys to success, I believe. Yeah, and you've been successful with your content.
At first, I just want to make it for fun.
Are you still
That's
having fun?
it.
Are you still having fun doing
Right
them
now,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes I get tired.
Okay. So
Thank
being
you.
a teacher for 20 years, what would you say is the big difference that you can witness during your career that, okay, this is the change that you see in the student? Like when you first started off 20 years ago, as opposed to now, how do you think they change?
It changed a lot. Yeah, things had changed a lot. Back then, we didn't have even electricity. We had nothing. We only had books. But right now, they have technology. They have phones, have AI. They have fast access to information. But back then, we had nothing like that. Yeah.
And do you think all these technology or these tools help the student study or learn better?
Sure. Because they can access information just in one click, something like that. But back then, we had to take like a day or more to read book to get information. And right now, they can also use AI to be their tutor, to be their teacher. Yeah, it's way easier
Yeah.
than before.
Right. And since everything changes
Sorry?
so fast and so much, I'm sure the curriculum or the kasuang cannot catch up, right? So everything is slow. Everything, like things barely changes from their end. So do you think what kind of problem do you think we have to fix in order to be better at giving better education to students these days?
I'm not talking as an academic expert, but I'm talking as a rural teacher, a rural school teacher. I think the most urgent problem for Thailand system education system is inequality. A lot of students aren't in formal school. Yeah, and a lot of them have to like drop out of school to get into workforce, to get
I see.
into work,
Because
to help
their family
support their
cannot afford it?
family. Yeah,
Okay.
inequality. And let's talk about the teaching method. The teaching, we should change from teaching for the taste to teaching for life.
I see.
For me, I think so.
Yeah.
Because a student with high score doesn't mean they can succeed. They can succeed. While the people who are moderate, not a top student, can be successful.
So they're just good at like excelling the test,
Yeah.
but not in real
They
life.
just it's kind of like just learn to pass the test.
I see. Okay.
But we should teach them about life skill. Like in English, curriculum, the กระทรวง they expect us to to create like communicator. It means students should be able to use English to share their ideas rather than just to pass the exam or the test. And we should build confidence to our students. I mean, they must be brave. They must be brave enough to speak English. Right now, I think some of the students still fear to speak. And about the budget.
I see. Yeah. Always the problem, like the
Yeah,
budget
yeah.
for like all industries. If
Yeah.
you don't have enough budget to implement the best ideas, such as ideas,
it's
right?
difficult
Yeah.
to maintain the good education if we lack of budget.
Right. So, how much freedom do you have in creating your own approach or methods of teaching in the classroom? Or do you always have to follow the curriculum?
I don't always follow the curriculum. The curriculum give us the destination, the four strand. Like you have to teach like listening, speaking, reading and writing at the four strand, and they set the destination. And we teacher, we have to find the path or the road to get to the destination. Like along the path, we could use like song, movies,
Yeah.
news, or situation that is going on
Yeah.
in the present time.
Right.
Yeah, to help our students to get to their destination like that.
It sounds like great news because at least we have some flexibility.
Yeah.
In, like because we have to kind of assess our own students.
Yeah.
To come up with a method that suits them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Because all students are not alike. Yeah. Okay. So. Being a teacher for 20 years, I want to know what you think about this saying. เป็นครูสิจะได้สบาย So this saying suggests that, like we said before, อาชีพครู it has a job stability. It's very well respected, and it seems like an easy job. So is your job easy?
Not at all.
Not at all.
I don't think it's easy at all.
So เป็นครูไม่ได้สบาย
ไม่ได้สบาย
No.
ค่ะ we have a lot of responsibility besides teaching. We have a lot of extra work. Yeah, we do a lot of activities through all year round. I mean, all year round. And then I just want them to invite them to my school for a day to see what people do. We have quite a lot of responsibility. We have to teach our students because our society expect from teachers quite high.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. there's even the saying ครูเป็นแม่พิมพ์ของชาติ right
ครู
so it's like yeah you're the mole so just go and make them good
ครูเป็นแม่พิมพ์ของชาติ I quite agree with this saying but I prefer the saying the Thai saying that ครูเป็นอย่างไรนักเรียนก็เป็นอย่างนั้น It
okay
means students become their teachers' reflection.
right
Yeah, like when if I walk into my class late, then my student learn that being late is okay. If I fear with speaking English, they fear that too. But if I walk into class with a smile, with confidence and with respect for everyone, my student become that too.
yeah
ครูเป็นอย่างไรนักเรียนก็เป็นอย่างนั้น so every day I ask myself like what is my reflection today what is my reflection today because my student will become that too
yeah and what is your reflection that you want your students to take after kind
generous knowledgeable and brave
okay yeah brave to use the language
Yeah.
brave to speak up
yes
yeah so
brave to face the world as well
what advice would you have for someone who is still not brave enough to speak English
that's a great question you just don't need to be perfect with like you need to be you don't need to have perfect accent yeah as long as you can convey the meaning you can just keep practicing day by day bit by bit just like 10 or 20 minutes a day but don't stop practicing don't stop using it you pick up it one day yeah I believe that
yeah you don't have to be great today but just keep going and don't
that's
stop
right yeah
Right. That's a great advice. Thank you so much for coming and talking to me. Like I said, I always am happy when I get a chance to talk to teachers
My
because
pleasure.
they're such a very important person in the world. And today we get a chance to talk to Kru Metta, which is like one of our idols. And we'll keep watching what you do and what you teach on the internet. And just keep having fun doing what you do and
Thank you
yeah we
so
love your
much.
kind voice and I think you're doing great
and you are my idol as well
oh thank you so much well before we go
as I
of
said
course
earlier that
Yeah.
the reason why I'm here today is just it's because I want to meet you in person yeah when I got first your message from your team I was like oh this is true
it is true
Yeah,
and
it's
same
true.
here I'm happy to have a chance to meet you in person too
Thank you
and
so much.
I want to ask you about your kamidi ครับครูเมตตาครับ
kamidi.
yeah your favorite word in English or in Thai it's up to you what are they
let's go to Thai first for Thai word I would go with กำลังใจ
and why is that
and in English like encouragement
okay
If
so
you don't-
same word but in two languages
in no not same word in Thai กำลังใจ if you don't have กำลังใจ in doing in anything you're done yeah so it's very important
right
in doing anything everything and กำลังใจ or encouragement is from both inside and outside yeah from people around you from your friends your family your loved one but the most important กำลังใจ is from inside you from yourself
yeah
yeah that's my Thai word that I like
great words
thank you
and today we have a lot of กำลังใจ from ครูเมตตาtoo
Thank you so
thank you for
much.
being here ขอบคุณนะครับ
ค่ะ